I don't know. I feel like... Fine, don't stand up then. I need a tripod. And I say this every time I go live. Why have I never bought a tripod? Coffee is very, very important to my mental well-being and stability. Almost everyone in my house drinks coffee. Everyone but my dad. Everyone but my dad over 13 in my house relies on coffee. Hello, everyone. I have to get ready because I have church this evening, which is why I look like this, because I haven't gotten ready yet. Also, did you guys know on Wednesdays this summer, after noon, you can get coffee for half off at Starbucks? Because I got this coffee and I only paid like $3 for it. I'm very happy about this fact. I need my phone to stay. Oh, it stood. Yes. Okay, first things first. I need to pick out clothes to wear to church, and I'm going to show you guys my options. And you guys tell me which one to wear. Hello, everyone. Oh, Hectic Hufflepuff is here. I follow her on Instagram. This is why I need a tripod. Listen, I've only been back in the US for like a week, so my brain is still dead, in case you can't tell. So, I'm a bit slow to things. Alright. Where are my clothes? Dude, I gotta rearrange my drawers. I share a room with my sister, so like we have one dresser in our bedroom and we have to share it. So we have this 3-drawer dresser and we two girls have to share it. 2 teenage girls. It's a bit rough. So I'm picking out my 2 outfit options. I'm going to show you guys. You guys can pick it as I sip my half off coffee that none of my siblings got. It's fun. Alright. Let's see. Look, my 2 shirt options just happen to be next to each other in the closet. It's fate. Okay. This. Hold up. I can't. This shirt is these shorts. This is outfit number 1. And then this shirt, these shorts, are outfit number 2. Pick one. Tell me in the comments which outfit I should wear. Outfit number 1 or outfit number 2? Which one dost thou like it the most? Dude, I don't even know what's going on in my brain today. Literally so tired. Okay, while you guys are deciding which outfit you like better. Which one was number 2? I don't remember. This was number 1. This was number 2. I'm gonna separate them so I remember. Okay, let's see. These are all outfits I've worn before too. I wore both of these outfits in Punta Cana. So yeah, I'm going, well, it's not like church. It's my youth group. It's a youth group Bible study the way you're doing on Wednesday nights throughout the summer. And it's really chaotic. It's the high schoolers and middle schoolers. So it's a lot. It's a lot. And my church bestie isn't there. She abandoned me. That's what I tell her anytime she leaves. She's in Alabama with her sister and grandparents, so all alone. Okay. Looks like the majority like number 2. Alright, that's great, because I love the shorts of number 2. My friend actually picked these out for me, and I was like not sure if I would like them or not, but I was like, you know what, I'll buy them, and then I've worn them like 4 times since I bought them last month, because they're great. Alright, question of the day. What is everyone reading? I was going to show you, but then when I looked at my book sack, I realized my book wasn't in here. So, but I'm reading City of Bones. And also, I don't remember the name of the audiobook, but I'm listening to an audiobook too. That wasn't helpful, but I seriously can't remember the name. So, yes. does everyone read? And what was your last 5-star read? That's a good question. One of my siblings had to have taken my hairbrush because it's like not here. I can't ever find it anymore. I can't find my hairbrush. I can't find my backup hairbrush, but I did find my little sister's Frozen hairbrush. So that's what I gotta use. All right. Let's see. Reading Throne of Glass and the Fellowship of the Ring. I have never actually read Lord of the Rings. I watched the first movie, and I read The Hobbit a while ago, but I've never read Lord of the Rings because Tolkien, he's just a bit long-winded. He's just a little bit long-winded, and that really gets me. So, yeah. Last 5-star read was Never Seen, even though it was a reread. You're real for that. I love Never Seen. That's one of my favorites in the series, actually. So I think my favorites in the series would be Never Seen, Nightfall, Legacy, and Stellar Loom. So, all right, let's see. The Hobbit for high school. Yeah, The Hobbit, it's okay. It's just, like I said, he's really long-winded. Though I have heard he is more long-winded in The Hobbit than Lord of the Rings. But honestly, at this point, I don't remember The Hobbit well enough. I'll have to reread it before I read Lord of the Rings, and that's just kind of like, I don't know. That just stresses me out a bit. My mom has been going through all of his books, though. So, yeah. She likes them. All right, let's see. Frozen. Yeah, my little sister's got so much Frozen stuff. Let's see. The Maze Runner or rereading, Never Seen. The Maze Runner is good, though. But have you guys read The Death Cure? Because I thought I was going to die, too. So, that was intense. Fun fact, also we're going to my bathroom so I can get my hair products. Fun fact, when I first read Death Cure, I was in my family's minivan with all of my siblings and my parents on our way to my cousin's house for Thanksgiving dinner, and so I had to control my reactions as I was like mentally screaming, what the heck is this? What just happened? And I won't give spoilers, but it's an emotional roller coaster for sure. Dad wants you to read The Hobbit, but the wording confuses you. That's understandable, I guess. I have a friend. Well, she's not even really much of a friend anymore, more of an acquaintance, because we like rarely ever talk, and we've only seen each other once in our whole lives because we live in vastly different states, like a 13-hour drive or something. And our moms were friends, which is why we met up that one time. Anyway, she reads mostly like Tolkien. That's like most of what they read, and I'm like, you are a smarter person than I ever could ever be, because I can't read just like all Tolkien, but she does, so good for her. Haven't read The Death Cure yet. Got banned from buying books by your mom, but you're gonna go to your dad's house soon, so you may be able to buy more books. Yeah, gotta fool the parents. Can't let your dad know that your mom put you on a book buying ban. Okay? Just don't let him know. Sometimes when my mom's like, I don't think you should go to the library because you've got so many books to read, and then she goes out of town on a business trip, and so my dad stays home from work to be like with the younger kids, and I'm like, hey Dad, why don't we go to the library today? He's like, all right. And I'm like, yes. I have built the system. Okay. Never Seen is your favorite. Yeah, Never Seen is good. I love Never Seen. It's so good. There's some cute So Keith moments in there. Have you guys seen Keith from the graphic novel? Because I don't have many thoughts about graphic novel Keith, because it's not quite what I had expected. I had really high hopes for Keith, and they kind of fell flat. So, what do you guys think about graphic novel Keith? Oh. Okay. You've been on a book buying ban since May? That is terrible. Oh my gosh, Keith is here. Wow. I am being personally attacked by Keith Simpson himself. It's fun. I've was thinking about leaving my hair down, but I think I'm gonna braid it. So, I'm gonna braid it. Oh, that lighting is terrible. Hold on, where was that light? Ew, that's so gross. Okay. We now know not to go over there. I was gonna try to use my mirror, but you know what? I'll just do it in my phone camera. Okay, let's see. I think it would be okay if it wasn't for like the jaw shape. I think the shape of his jaw is what really threw me off. 'Cause it just wasn't quite right. And I don't know how many of you follow Shannon on Instagram, but I do. And like half the comments on her post were like, please fix his face. So we're not the only ones that are upset about it. But yeah, the jawline's the main issue. I think I would be good. Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm sure I would be good if it weren't for the jawline. Cause like, it's not it. You had a dream you met who? Keith? Are you talking to Keith? Your jaw is very average looking. Where do you live that kind of jaw is average? That's what I want to know. I was gonna make a joke about Dream and his unmasking. His Giga Chad chin. That's what my best friend calls it. So. Well, okay, yes, you live in the Lost Cities, but like, I've seen a lot of art of the elves in the Lost Cities, and I've never seen one with a jaw that big. Oh, you had a dream you met me. That's funny. What did I say? What did we do? See, now I'm getting anxiety over something that I did in someone else's dream. Was I terrible? I want to know. So, let's just pretend we're talking about KLGLC Cover Keep. See, Cover Keep is so cute though. Like, oh Lord. Well, things fell off my bookshelf. See, Cover Keith is so cute. I love Cover Keith. I would date this man. I would be all over this man. Not graphic novel Keith though. I knocked the same thing down twice. Even put it back right. Oh look guys, when I was in Punta Cana I bought this and I put it on my bookshelf and it's like sand. It's like $5 and I was like, might as well, it's like sand and seashells. It's cute. It sits on my bookshelf. So hair is done. It'll look better when it dries, I promise. Alright, let's see. Yeah, Cover Keith, he gives me life. Hold on, I'm gonna move some things around the bookshelf. I don't have any sort of vanity. Oh my gosh. I used to do my makeup in our bathroom. We have, hold on. Why is my rotation lock on? There it goes. Anyway, we have 2.5 bathrooms, and we have one bathroom that's like for us kids, and I used to do my makeup in there, but then my brother shattered the mirror. So now we don't have a mirror in our bathroom. And instead, I have to take this tiny, tiny little makeup mirror that my brother bought me back when I was in middle school. And I have to set it on one of my bookshelves. I gotta take this and set it on my bookshelf. And that's how I do my makeup, because my brother broke our bathroom mirror. Shattered it completely. Like, I can show you guys. That's where the mirror was. Now it's just a white piece of wall. So, we love brothers. Wasn't it on my last live that we agreed that brothers are collectively the issue? I feel like I've got 3 brothers. And they're wild. So, yeah, bye-bye mirror. What's the best cover? Keeper of Lost Cities cover? Oh shoot. I need a tripod. I know I say this every time I go live, but I do need one. Oh my gosh, come on, phone. There we go. Best cover. Oh gosh. I'm gonna say Legacy. Really like Legacy. I'm not gonna take it back down because I'm gonna knock my shelf thingy off again, but it's really good. His siblings in general they're a lot. as someone who has 5 younger siblings, like, this isn't even my room. My sister sleeps in my bed, so, like, I don't even have, like, 5 minutes of free space. It's yeah, siblings are rough. My brother's bookshelf broke, which broke his TV. That was huge. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. That's awful. I would, like, cry if that was me. Our TV in the living room is broken because my 4-year-old brother got mad one day and he threw a toy at it. So it's broken. It's got a crack down the middle. It's like a big black line down the middle and a big black line on top and like a hook in it. So it's tough to watch TV, and has been for 6 months because that massive crack. To be fair, he was 3 when he did it, and 3-year-olds have temper tantrums like that, but still. Anytime we watch TV, there's just a line down the middle. My siblings say it didn't, but I'm pretty sure it got worse while I was on vacation. Because I came back and I was like, oh, I don't think it was that bad. Okay, so now we shall do the makeup before we get dressed. Because I'm one of those people that says, sorry, my eyes are itchy. I'm one of those people that does hair and makeup before getting dressed. I don't know. But I've also accidentally dripped makeup on my clothes too many times, like when I get dressed in my outfit before. But your door once had a hole in it? Well, I'll do you one over. My brothers once broke their door in half at our old house. They just snapped the door. So, they also put a hole in the wall. Yeah. Brothers are interesting. Instead of getting grounded, your parents just take your current book. My parents do that too sometimes. Now that I have a phone, they take my phone occasionally, and then I just go to my room and read instead since I don't have my phone. But before I had a phone, because I didn't get a phone until I was 16. Before I had a phone though, they would always take my book, and I remember the days of just like, can I please have my book back? Please. Sometimes I would just go and read another book. Defiance. But yeah. Also, don't judge how I do makeup because I am self-taught. Because my mom still does makeup like it's the 2000s, like early 2000s, most of the time. She's getting better, but when she taught me, she definitely still did everything like it was still the early 2000s. So I had to teach myself. So it's not great. I know that, but it works. So don't judge. Judgment-free zone. Okay, so what is another question of the day? Question of the day, take 2. What is everyone's favorite song right now? I don't know if I could pick a favorite. I gotta say Long Live by Taylor Swift is hitting different right now. So, yeah. Long Live, that's what, hold on. I'm gonna get bobby pins so I can pin my front straight. Yeah, Long Live is hitting different. I also really like Enchanted by Taylor Swift, and my sister laughs at me because I have never had a boyfriend or any guy romantically interested in me, yet I still like dance around to Enchanted. So my sister makes fun of me. I had a really bad crush one time on a guy, and he rejected me, and that's when I was 15. I haven't had a crush since. That's fun. Okay, let's see. You refused to answer the question. Cruel Summer. Ah, yes, I love Cruel Summer. I was just screaming that in the shower a little bit ago. Long Live, Enchanted, Lover. Those are such good ones. Oh, Foolish from Heartless the Musical. That is a good one. Vampire. Okay, I love singing Vampire. Vampire is really fun to sing. Long Live. Love Story. We got a lot of Swifties in here. I love Heartless the Musical too. I haven't actually listened to it in like a month, so that's my reminder to go like listen to the whole soundtrack again. I think I added some of the songs to my show tunes playlist because I'm a theater kid. So you could not finish Heartless Musical. I didn't actually watch the musical. I just listened to the soundtrack, and some songs are better than others. I feel like we have to keep in mind that it is a student written play written by kids our age, so it's not going to be like amazing and professional and stuff. Just something I try to keep in mind when I listen to it. I didn't watch it though because I found it on YouTube. It had like really, really bad camera quality, so I I didn't watch it. Any song recs that aren't Taylor Swift. Okay. I also listened to Alec Benjamin, 5 Seconds of Summer, Sabrina Carpenter, and Olivia Rodrigo, so I recommend all 4 of them. Alec Benjamin, he's really good. He's got like, most of his songs are kind of slow, but they're what on earth? Anyway, most of Alec Benjamin's songs are kind of slow, but they're really good. You may have heard some of them because they were trending for a while, like Let Me Down Slowly and Water Fountain and stuff like that. I love 5 Seconds of Summer. My current favorite by them is She Looks So Perfect. And if you guys have heard She Looks So Perfect, like, I listen to that song probably daily. Really love She Looks So Perfect. Sabrina Carpenter. I'll have to make a video of me singing Nonsense one day because I love singing Nonsense. I've gotten my sister to like Nonsense. And then Olivia Rodrigo, she's got Vampire. I really love pretty much the whole Sour album. It's great. And so yeah, those are my my top 5 would be Taylor Swift, 5 Seconds of Summer, Olivia Rodrigo, Sabrina Carpenter, Alec Benjamin. Not in that order. That's just my top 5. So you cried listening to I Built a Friend. I know it's sad. Oh gosh, what's it called? The 6 Feet Apart or whatever. The one he wrote during COVID. It's kind of sad. I like that one. I think my favorite of his though would have to be like Water Fountain, or I really like Older. You have a video of you singing This Is Me Trying by Taylor Swift. You should post it. You should post it. You need more personality traits than Taylor Swift in reading. Understandable. Completely and totally understandable. I need my light on so I can see my makeup better. So I know what I'm doing. Yeah, it's funny because me and my siblings all have vastly different music taste. Oh, it is posted? Okay. I don't know if I'm subscribed to you or not. I need to. There's so many people that I like see them around and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to subscribe, and then I forget. I will check it out later. I don't know if I'll remember to right after this because I do have church in a couple hours, but today or tomorrow I will try to go check that out. So watch for a comment. I still need to, one random reader posted a video of her playing Beauty and the Beast on her piano. She said I could duet it, and I still need to do that. And post it. Those are the only personality traits you need. Understandable. Listen, a couple weeks ago when I was in Punta Cana, we met up there with some of, like, one of my mom's friends and her friend's husband. And all of us were Swifties except for my mom. So we started blasting Cruel Summer. We were sitting on the white sand beaches of Punta Cana with the breeze blowing in and pina coladas in our hand while Cruel Summer blasted, and it was like immaculate vibes. Immaculate vibes. It was so good, and I was like, if I could just freeze a moment in time, it would be sitting on the beaches with my pina colada, Cruel Summer blasting, the waves rolling in. It was awesome. It was awesome. I don't think my mom enjoyed that moment quite as much because, like I said, she's not a Swiftie. So, what reading challenge? Mine? Because if it's mine, I haven't even read July's book. Yeah. So, I need to read July's book. I've barely read this month. You guys should be so disappointed in me. I normally read at least 10 books every month, and I have only read like 4 or 5 the whole month. But this is what I'm reading for my reading challenge this month. I just haven't gotten to it, so I'm gonna like lay it on my bed so I remember to do it. You got back from a very large family reunion. How'd it go? Family reunions for me are rough. My family is really big in the area I grew up in because I live in a different state than where I grew up. But back there, it was like the family I was from was very well known because they'd been there forever. Literally forever, decades and decades. And so like people would like stop me like I'd be running errands or at a baseball game or stuff, and they're like, are you a blank? I'm not gonna say my last name. And I'd be like, why? And they, especially my dad and my great uncle, one of my great uncles and my grandfather were very, very well known. So people would see me and like automatically know I was related to them, and I was like, dude, this is creepy and weird. But also because my family is so big, family reunions are like a bunch of people hugging me, and I've got no clue who they are. They're just like, oh hi, and they like hug me, and it's like turns out to be like my 5th cousin or something, and I'm like, what the heck? I don't know. 55 people were there, and then you went to get together some more of my family. That's 25. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think we generally have like 100 people or so at family reunions. It's rough. My grandparents, my mama had like 14 siblings, and my papa had like 13. No, that's not right. My grandma had 12. Okay, so my grandma on my mom's side had 12 siblings. On my dad's side, one of them had like 16 or 17, and the other had like 14 or 15 siblings. Like, can you imagine having 14 siblings? Like, what the heck? But yeah, so the family is big. And because my grandparents are in their like 80, no, not quite 80 yet. They're in their 70s, mid to late 70s. And my papa was like the youngest. So everyone has like children and grandchildren, and some of them even have great grandchildren now. So like family's branched out really big. It's massive. So it's just sometimes tough having a family that big. I don't. And like a bunch of my great aunts, they had on my papa's sisters, they all had similar names. It was like Kathleen, Darlene, Irene, Geraldine. I don't remember them all, but they all ended with "ine", and they all looked identical. And so like growing up, I never knew who was who. So I spent my whole childhood trying to figure out which great aunt was which. And yeah, that's one thing about my grandparents. They and their siblings look so similar. So it's like, as a kid, that was really difficult to figure out which one was which. Oh, your grandparents are visiting? That's nice. It's nice that they visit when your mom is sick. I gotta admit, I don't have a great relationship with my grandparents. Actually, wait, I had a really great relationship with my grandma, but then she died back in 2020. So, not of COVID, of cancer. And I don't have a great relationship with my dad's parents. There's a lot in that. I won't say anything else, but yeah, we don't have a good relationship with my grandparents, so. I shall be right back. I'm just going here for a moment. Okay, let's see. Comments. I'm gonna go through some of the comments. Family reunions for you are just near-death experiences. That's unfortunate, Keith. That's really unfortunate. All your grandparents died when you were like 7. Yeah. Understandable. I say understandable too much. Where did my coffee go? My half-price coffee. Go to Starbucks. It's half price today. You're a family of 20 cousins from the age of like mid-20s, 2 or 3. Me too. I have, on my dad's side, I have 6 cousins, I think. And I've got 4 more on my mom's side. And on my dad's side, my oldest cousin is 26. And then my brother is the youngest cousin. He's 4. So I've got 3 cousins in their 20s. Counting my mom and dad's side, I've got 3 cousins in their 20s. A cousin who's a year older than me. I've got 1 like young teenager cousin, and then the rest all kids. Actually, one's a preteen, and then the rest all kids, so it's crazy. I don't know if it's only in America or not, but I have the Starbucks app, and I got a notification that afternoon today. And afternoon every Wednesday until I think like for another week or 2, I think. Coffee and cold drinks are half off, so. I have no clue if it's only in America, though. You can look and see. It's like a summer thing. So if it's not summer where you live, I don't know. your great-grandma died when you were 5. She died the day after you met her for the second time. Oh, that's rough. I'm sorry for that. My younger siblings actually never met our grandma because my youngest brother was only like a year old when she died, and she lived in a different state than us. She lived like a 6-hour drive. Like, it was a 6-hour nonstop drive, and there were 8 of us, so it took, like, you know, it wasn't nonstop, because if you've ever traveled with young kids, you know that it's start and stop. So we didn't get to see her very often, and then she died, so they never actually met her. It was unfortunate. I had 2 cups of coffee today, and that's it. You should probably have more than 2 cups of coffee. I love coffee. I drink coffee a couple times a week, but like 2 cups of coffee and nothing else for a whole day is not healthy. So yeah, I don't like traveling either. I like being wherever like we're trying to go. I hate traveling. Oh, you guys want to hear my traveling story? When I went to Punta Cana, we got up at 1:30 a.m. to drive to the airport, which is an hour and a half away from our house. Right? So we get there, we get through security and get our passports checked and all of that. And the flight's supposed to take off within an hour and a half before the flight. So we just like hang out at the airport. The flight boards, we're on the plane. I was feeling anxious because I'd never flown before. And we get on the plane, we're about to take off, and then they go, oh, sorry, we have a maintenance issue, we need to deboard. So they deboarded the whole plane. And we had to wait for like 2 hours in the airport, not knowing when they would let us reboard the plane. Then finally they let us reboard. We get there like 20 minutes before our connecting flight to Punta Cana was supposed to take off. So we literally run from the plane to the gate, and we were 8 minutes late, and they already closed it and given standbys our seat. So we got put on standby for the last remaining flight to Punta Cana that day. And we managed to get the only 2 empty seats on the entire flight. So we got to Punta Cana, we had a great time. The night before we were supposed to leave, my mom checked on our flights, and they were like deleted from the app. They like weren't there. We were like, what the heck is going on? So we called the airline, and they were like, oh, your flight's been canceled. So one of mom's friends was going on the same flight as us, so she messaged her to let her know that the flight was canceled, and that lady was like, oh, it's not canceled. It's still showing for us. So we found out that they had just removed us from the flight because we missed our connecting flight back on the day we were traveling, which was their fault because another plane on their airline made us late. Like, it was delayed over and over and over again, so that we were late for the second flight. And then because we were late for the second flight, they counted us as no-shows and canceled all of our remaining flights. So we almost got stuck in Punta Cana. Luckily, we were able to get it figured out. But yeah, and again, got stuck in random seats, not with each other, on a flight that they just happened to have. So it was a hassle. I was very stressed out because it was so much, and I'd never flown before either. This was my first flying experience. It wasn't great. All right, let's see. You just had a little leftover Cracker Barrel and a little bit of butter. Just butter. Why would you eat just butter? That's weird. I'm sorry. It is weird though. You don't drink coffee whenever you go to Starbucks. You get the non-caffeinated drinks because you're energetic enough. That's understandable. First time you were on a plane, it felt like your ears were bleeding, and they put you on drugs for the second flight. No, I chewed gum so that my ears didn't like pop or anything. Yeah, it was definitely an amazing first flight experience. Wonderful. The time of my life. Butter is yummy. Butter is not yummy to just eat, okay, guys? Don't just eat butter. But yeah, so we made it there, we made it back, but I was like really stressed out. Cause like, what the heck is happening? And see, the thing is, my mom, she normally flies Delta, but this time, because it was cheaper, she flew American Airlines. So we have decided we'll never fly American Airlines again, because that was a lot. The first time we went flying, you were 6 months old. That was like my brother. He was on a plane with my mom when he was a month old. Literally. And, you know, he's 4 now, so he doesn't actually remember it. But, like, we told him, oh, when you were little, you went on an airplane. And so when I was getting ready to leave on this trip, and I was like, oh, I'm scared for the flight, he was like, I flew, sissy. You can, okay? Like, I can't believe I flew and you didn't. I was like, oh my gosh. 4-year-olds are sassy. Just get that setting spray in my pores. Okay, let's see. More comments. Yeah, you should not eat butter by itself. Just stop. You were a couple of weeks old. See, all of you have flown before I ever did. Yeah, don't eat straight up butter. Yeah, my mom has flown Delta for years and has always had good experience. And then this one time we were like, yeah, let's try American Airlines, and then it sucked. So, moral of the story, don't fly a new airline. Stick with whichever airline you've been flying, because there's a good chance that other airline will just screw you over. And then after they messed up, like after they took us off our flight, and my mom was like, we need to put us back on a flight because we need to get home. We can't be stuck in a foreign country. They tried to make us pay for new tickets. My mom was like, we're not paying for new tickets. We literally paid for a flight, which you took us off of. So give us some seats. So. You got body spray in your eyes. Good job. You kept swallowing gum? Why would you, like, after the first time, why would you do it again? And did your parents not say something? Like, my parents, the first time I ever swallowed gum, they were like, if you swallow it again, you'll never have gum for like 6 more years. I was like, oh, okay. You have never flew. Well, it's okay because I am 17. I'm almost 18 and I only just flew earlier this month. So it's okay if you've never flown. Because I think you guys are all younger than me. So I think we've established that I'm one of the oldest people in our little booktube community. So that's great, isn't it? I get to be... I'm like, every time you guys like do a face reveal, every time one of you does a face reveal, I'm like, oh, you guys are like 12, which is okay, but like, it humbles me because I realize that you guys are 12 or 13 doing like these edits and stuff, and I'm almost 18 doing these edits, so. It's okay, I won't grow up for a while, so you guys will continue getting my content. I did just get a new job though, so I got a part-time job at McDonald's, which McDonald's was not even in my top 10 choices. But I sent in over 30 job applications and no one would hire me with my availability because I'm still in high school and I'm homeschooled, which means I school year round, which means I can only work evenings on certain days. And no one would hire me with that except for McDonald's. So I start Friday. Pray for me because it's gonna be rough. Yeah, I'm gonna be working at McDonald's until I graduate, probably. I graduate in May, but I won't actually be done with school until December, which is rough. It's really rough. It's like, it hurts physically that I'm like, oh, I graduated in May, but I'm still doing school until December. But in January of 2025, I will have graduated, have no more school, and I will have to get a full-time job. And that, in like a year and a half, or no, how long is that? Yeah, it's around a year and a half is when editing might have to change. Yeah, McDonald's is always understaffed. Well, my local McDonald's, they're rebuilding the whole crew. So, yeah. I had a babysitting job. I babysat the same 3 kids 2 days a week for almost exactly a year. And then they asked if this summer I could do more time, but it was all in the like morning and afternoon, which I cannot do because I can't do school and babysit for that amount of time. So I had to turn it down. They hired a new babysitter, and then I was like, and this was back in May. I was like, okay, I'll just start putting in applications. Pretty sure I'll get a job. I went to like 3 interviews. One was really weird. I don't think they were actually hiring. I think they were just doing interviews so that like people would come in. The other 2, I thought they went really well and I would get the job, and then I didn't. And one place, I'm pretty sure they weren't actually hiring either, because they turned down my friend too, and both of us were like really, really qualified for the job. And they didn't even hire anyone else instead of us, so I don't think that they were actually hiring. I think they were just trying to get people in. But yeah, I sent in over 30 applications. And then when the manager of McDonald's was like, oh, we're trying to like rebuild our crew, I was like, you know what, might as well. They are starting me at $11 an hour, which is better than what the other places were offering. Because like I went to a job interview at Michael's, like the craft store, and they were only offering me $9. So even though I don't get to work at the place I wanted to work, I am getting paid more per hour, and you know, that's just my starting rate, so I have the opportunity to like build up and get raises and stuff. So yeah, I need to save. I need a car before I start college, and I also need to save for college. But I'm taking a gap year, so I've got like 2 years or something like that before I go to college. So let me look through. Being an adult seeming rough. I know. See, listen. I turned 18 in February. So next year I've got to like pay taxes and start saving for like a car in college and stuff. I'll graduate. I'll have to get a full-time job at some point next year. Also, I happen to turn 18 on an election year for us Americans, and my mom is very much like, everyone in our household needs to vote, because like it's very important for her, and especially like for me, because she's like, you're a woman. Women had to fight to be able to vote, so you need to vote. And she's really mad when my dad doesn't vote. My dad's just like, whatever. He doesn't vote. And she's really mad. So she was like, as soon as you turn 18, you're voting. So I have to. Now I have to learn about politics. So that's fun. You prefer Burger King? Yeah. You prefer Wendy's? I actually applied to Wendy's. I went to an interview. That was the one that was like really weird. She asked me like my name, my age, my availability, and then was like, bye. So yeah. Ew, politics. Exactly. I don't want to learn about politics, but I have to, because I'm expected to vote for an American president in next November. So, and I don't actually know who the candidates are, but I gotta be honest, and I'm not gonna get all political here, but I gotta be honest, none of our options have been good for like years. What I think, honestly, and then I'll stop with politics, what I think America needs is someone who isn't an old white man. Please don't take offense with that, but we need someone who isn't an old white man. Okay? Because that's why America's just going to like, yeah. So, politics are dumb. And, like, politicians are all, like, shady and gross, so. And that's the thing, we need to get some, like, anybody except for our current options, because they're not good. They're not good. I'm gonna stick. Okay, well, yes, Obama wasn't an old white man, but he was still kind of old. Well, not like that old. He wasn't as old as like Joe Biden, but he wasn't like young either. And that was years ago. And he did some good things, but our presidents since then have been great. So we need some better presidents. Someone who's not homophobic. Dude, I'm pretty sure I know who that's targeted at. Yeah, see, this is the issue. Like, even if you don't believe in, like, gay marriage or anything like that, you shouldn't be oppressing people or making it hard for people who do believe in it. That's what I think. And same with, like, religions who are against stuff. Like, I gotta be honest, my religion is against some stuff. But I'm never gonna shame anybody or treat them any differently because of it. That's what our government needs to do. I'm just saying. Okay. I'm actually going out of camera for like, yeah, exactly. Don't be disrespectful. You can disagree and still be respectful about something. So, yeah. Okay, what is it? Your teacher in 2020 had a vote for a new president. Oh, that's fun. The 2020 elections were rough. Honestly, I'm scared for these. Okay, I'm stepping out of camera for just a minute because I gotta put my clothes on. So this is the option you guys picked. I'm pretty sure this is number 2. I think we're gonna go with it. But I'm still here. I'm just like not in camera. for obvious reasons. Honestly, I live in my pajamas all the time because I can. And I'm homeschooled, so I don't even have to get dressed for school. My mom, before COVID actually, my mom made us get dressed every single day for school. She made us like get up, put on like shower, put on clothes and stuff. Now, also because I'm older and I can kind of do what I want, now instead of making me get dressed, she just like lets me wear whatever. So there are days when I shower, put on clean pajamas, and then just wear that all day. Like my friends know if they FaceTime me, there's a good chance I'm gonna be in pajama pants. So I've got a rotation of like plaid pajama pants. I don't know why. My mom bought me a pair once, like the pair I just had on, and I love them for whatever reason. And I bought like 3 or 4 pairs since then. So okay, we got the clothes on. Let me read through some comments. Your teacher in 2nd grade made you vote for a duck or a sheep for president. Which one did you pick? I want to know. Did you pick the duck or the sheep? Oh, there's no one standing behind me. It's just stuffed animals and stuff. And we got a bunch of stuffed animals. So I'm almost 18. I've got like 50 stuffed animals still in my bed. Okay. For some reason, the last day of school starts at 7 a.m. That's terrible. I don't even get up until 8 in the morning. My alarm is set for 8 in the morning on a school day. And I start school around 9:30. So. Shower in late afternoon because I usually stay up till midnight at the earliest. Midnight at the earliest? Dude, I'm asleep by like 11:30. 11, something like that. Unless I like watch a movie with my siblings, which we do sometimes. Last month we stayed up until 3 in the morning watching Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies. But sorry, click the wrong button. And then like sometimes if I'm reading, I stay up later. I'm gonna move this back to this shelf so I can fix my stuff on this one back the way I had it before I brought my phone up there. Also, I put the outfit on, so this is the outfit that's done. I will probably wear these shoes. They need to be washed, but these are probably the ones I'll wear because they're pink. I got some pink in my shorts. You have to get to school like 7:45 a.m. Oh my gosh. This is terrible. Advice for high school. Okay. Now, I don't know what public school is like. I've never been in public school. The only things I know about public school are what was told to me by my friends. But I can't give advice on like schoolwork and just being like high school age, I guess. Don't get too caught up in relationships because it's not like boyfriend-girlfriend relationships. It's not that important. And honestly, most high school relationships don't last anyway. So, like, I'm not saying don't date anyone, but I'm just saying don't be so caught up in it that you put other things, especially your friends, aside, because I feel like no friendships should ever be thrown away for a boy, or a girl, whichever gender you are, or whoever you prefer. And then, like, with schoolwork, it's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard, but don't give up, because you can do it, even if you need to find other help elsewhere. Lord knows that I rely on YouTube sometimes to get me through a test or something. I'm like, I gotta study this, but I don't know what I'm doing. So, hey, if you do biology, Amoeba Sisters on YouTube. Me and my best friend love Amoeba Sisters. They're great. So if you do biology, I don't know if you do that freshman year. I did, but I don't know like what your school system does. But if you have Amoeba Sisters, just remember that there's so many like outlets on YouTube and various websites like that. So if you get stuck on something, don't be scared to ask for help or to like look elsewhere. And yeah, it's gonna be hard, but it's worth it because honestly, once you hit high school, you just have 4 more years of school left before you're free to do whatever you want with your life, whether that's go to college or trade school. I'm going to trade school, but like, you've only got 4 years, like you can make it. And then let me see, what else? But with that, don't be so caught up in schoolwork and studying that you don't make sure you have time for yourself and time with your friends, because that's also really important. I know there were times when I was like cramming everything in and I was like pushing friends away because I was like, oh, I gotta focus on this. That did not help my mental health. So yeah, make sure you get time with your friends because it will help. Even if you think, oh, going out to watch this movie or going to dinner isn't going to help me get my schoolwork done, it kind of will sometimes, because it gives your brain a chance to release and like relax. And then when you come back to your schoolwork later or the next day, your brain's much fresher, so you'll be able to like focus again. Really, oh my gosh, I'm losing words. You'll be able to focus like much better on the topic at hand, and you'll retain much better too. So, and notes are important. Take notes. Like, don't ever say, oh, it's silly to take this much. Take notes, because this will be very helpful later when you're studying. So I've got notebooks for like or at least even if it's not notebooks on my laptop, like a Google Doc for like almost every subject, because notes are very helpful. So you go back early September. I go back in about 2 weeks. So your teacher legit didn't care when you were behind. Just watch the videos. Put me on a trashy math website. Well, see, yeah, that's the thing about public schools. The teachers will do that. I think really if you got a certain class you're struggling in, make sure when you're at home that is something, or find someone that you know that is good at that subject and get them to like help you. Because yeah, a lot of public school teachers, they just push you through the system. But I've got, like I said, I've never been in public school, but my cousins and many close friends of mine do go to school, like in a public school setting. And honestly, like, the thing they do if they're really struggling is, like I said, to try to find other resources outside of school to try to help you do the best you can. Yeah, I have a math struggle too. Math is my hard subject, so yeah, I understand it being the lowest grade. But August 3rd, I think I go back right after that. Gosh, I don't remember it. I don't have the calendar. Oh wait, my sister has the calendar up in her bed. Hold on, I'm gonna look. Actually, no, I'm not, because I don't want to climb up on the top of the bed. I go back in like a week and a half, I think. Not next week, but the week after. Whew, oh my gosh. Whew. You go to a charter school. Last year, your math teacher gave you a bunch of axles and made you get them done to get a good grade, but didn't teach us except for evaluation. That sucks. I'm sorry. You have a math disability, so I'm in the disabled class. I'm sorry. I understand the math is really difficult. And I have got siblings and parents actually with like various like dyslexia, ADHD, like stuff like that. And that makes it hard for them to focus. And honestly, what they do is just try to find what works for them. So maybe, I don't know how much that can help, but just try to find what works for you. Don't care about like what everyone else is doing, just find what works for you. I'm sorry, Tiny. That sucks. Oh dang, student unteachable. That's rough. I'm sorry. One of my cousins, he has pretty bad ADHD. It was even worse when he was younger, and he actually had to come and do a grade with us. My mom taught him, and we were in the same grade, so we're about the same age. We did 3rd grade together because he was struggling a bit in school. I think it helps him. He's never like fallen behind again. Like, I know he still struggles, obviously everyone struggles, but let's see. I'm gonna go grab my phone cord because my phone's about dead, so I shall return in just a moment. I got my cord. But yeah, school's gonna be tough. It's always gonna be hard. And I don't know where all of you guys live, but the American school system is pretty crap. So yeah, it's gonna be a struggle. But I believe you all can do it. You'll have your struggles, and you'll have things that are difficult for you that aren't difficult for your friends. But I still think you can do it. This will take a little bit longer for some people than others to like get a certain subject down or to hit a certain goal. But that doesn't mean it won't happen. Started trying to get my phone propped up with the cord plugged in. Okay, there we go. Sitting on my bed, which I didn't make today, which is weird for me. I almost always make my bed, but I didn't today. So, okay, let's see. My brother used to have pretty bad eczema, so I get it. We had to do a lot of special stuff for him. Like do special oatmeal and buy a bunch of lotions and stuff. Because he was really young and didn't know how to like, you know, deal with it. So we had to help him with that a lot. So yeah, it can be rough. I'm gonna try sitting on the floor. Let me try to turn it so I can. Okay. Why can't the government focus on that type of stuff and not allowing? Yeah. There's a lot of flaws with the American government. There is. I think focus needs to be shifted quite heavily. You know. Oh, that's a terrible reason to fire a teacher. Like I said earlier, even if you don't agree with something that the person is doing, still respect it. Unless it's something like murdering people. You don't need to respect that. But anything like sexuality, gender, like ethnicity, any of that, you need to respect people. Yeah, part of the American school system. It sucks. That's the whole reason I'm homeschooled. Actually, a lot of people think, because my family are Christians, a lot of people think that we homeschooled because of our religion, but we didn't. We homeschooled because the American school system is crap. So, yeah. Yep, that's exactly 100% the reason why. And also because the fact that American schools don't let you, like, take longer on a certain subject if you struggle with it. Or, like, oh gosh, lost my train of thought. Or, like, let you move ahead if something's easy for you. Because, like, I learned how to read when I was 4. So my mom realized when she made the decision to homeschool that if she put me in a public school, then, like, I'd be bored. I wouldn't be learning anything from reading. And, like, there was nothing the teachers would do. They wouldn't give me harder work. They would make me stick in the grade I had to be. And also, like, 2 of my siblings who have ADHD. That would be a struggle for them to be in the school system because, like, they have ADHD, they have their own struggles. And since we're homeschooled, my mom can, like, change our curriculum if needed to, like, suit them. My mom does that for all of us, actually. I was with a biology curriculum. It's, like, really hard. I was failing everything. And even on my bad classes, I don't fail. Like, if you look at my high school transcript, I literally have A's and B's for every single one of my classes. Like, I don't get below a B, but I was literally failing every single test. I would, like, retake a test, like, 2 times and still be failing. So my mom was like, you know what, this curriculum isn't working. So she switched me to a different curriculum. I was able to complete biology. I have finished it, and I got a B, I think. I'll double check. Which is, you know, like, normal for me. My brother is doing, like, a hybrid thing with, like, math. He's doing multiple curriculums to get the information he needs, because that's what works for him. And that is the problem with the American school system. You don't get to do that. You just have to do whatever the curriculum says, and you don't get the time you need. So, yeah. I'm right here. I'm gonna still be talking, but I'm looking in my mirror to see if I like these earrings with this outfit. And if I do like them, I've got to put them in. Thinking about getting a second ear piercing. But I don't know. My sister had some ear piercings. She got them earlier this year, and they closed up. Like, weird. They got infected and closed up. She took care of them. She did exactly what she was supposed to. And she has to get them re-pierced. She can't put anything through the holes anymore, which is weird. It's like my mom, even piercings she got back in college, still are fine, even though she hasn't put anything in them since she was in college. And like me, mine have been a little weird ever since I got them, but like they've never closed up. So it was weird. We were all surprised when she was like, "Oh yeah, my holes are closed." What? I actually hate putting in earrings though. I love wearing earrings, but I hate putting them in because I feel like I always keep missing the hole. And then I'm just stabbing myself in the ear over and over again. I'll be over there back in a second to read the comments and everything. I just needed my mirror. I didn't want to do it in my phone camera because then you guys would just have to watch me stabbing myself in the ear over and over again. Oh shoot. I've knocked over so many things today. Okay. Now, comments. Math is annoying, like my tests and homework scores don't make sense together. Yeah. I hate those kind of tests where it's like, you go to do the test and they didn't teach you anything that's on the test. I'm like, what the heck? What was the point in taking this class if you weren't going to teach me a single thing on the test? In kindergarten, I was above grade level and would get in trouble for not doing the counting to 100, not doing the ABCs, etc. That's exactly why my mom didn't put me... See, that's where the decision to homeschool started. That she was like, oh, Gabby already knows this stuff because I taught her at home. And putting her in school, like kindergarten and preschool and all that would be... She'd be bored. And so she ended up, like, just homeschooling. That's kind of where it went. So... I love that, Nico. Oh, thank you for the hair compliment. I'm trying to get it, I fried part of it right here back in December. And it's still not curly like it used to be. That's why I don't wear my hair down as often and it's more like braided or pulled back, like front strands pulled back or stuff like that, because it doesn't look great. It's like half curly, half weird. A baby rips your earrings out. That's why when I had, like, when my siblings were like really young, I didn't really wear earrings very often because my brother would like tug at them. And one time he made me bleed because he like jerked at my earrings so hard. Let's see. I'm trying to make sure I read most of the like important comments and stuff. You wish you were homeschooled? Well, it's good. I mean, there are some parts that are like, eh, but yeah. I like it though. I graduate next year. Having never been inside of a public or private school building, I'll graduate next year. So, completely homeschooled, and I'm kind of proud of that. I did this, so. One of the perks of being homeschooled is you can pick your cap and gown color. And I told my mom I wanted a hot pink cap and gown. So we're gonna buy a hot pink cap and gown, and I cannot wait in the spring to show you, like, just post senior pictures for you guys. And we actually have homeschool associations, and there's also statewide graduation ceremonies for homeschoolers. So I will also get to walk a stage and get my diploma and all that. My mom will send in like my transcript and stuff, and they can give that to me. I'll get my diploma, I'll walk the stage in my cap and gown, I'll get my senior pictures, it'll be great. I didn't go to prom this year because I didn't know anyone going, and all of my friends are like a year younger than me. So like literally all of my friends turned 16. Like almost everyone I knew turned 16 this year. And I turned 17. So like this is rough. But next year they will be juniors and seniors, so they can go, I can get a friend to go to prom with me. Because I probably won't have a date, let's be honest. But yeah, I think I'll go to prom next year. So that'll be fun. And I don't know, maybe I'll get a pink dress. Maybe I'll wear a hot pink prom dress. I like pink, if you guys haven't been able to tell. So I need to post some more pictures from Punta Cana, because I had like a pink dress I wore. I took some cool pictures and I only posted like 5, because YouTube community only lets you post 5 pictures at a time, which I find annoying. I think they should be like Instagram, let you post 10. But yeah, I will definitely post some more, because I realized the other day I really did only post those original 5, and I was there for a week, so I took some good pictures. You love pink? Yes. Who went to see Barbie? I didn't go, because I thought about it, but my whole family thinks it's stupid, so I didn't go. I know a bunch of people who went, though. No, I didn't. Yeah, I just saw the Barbie movie comment. No, I didn't get to see it, so yeah, it's unfortunate. A friend of mine went, and she was like, it was so good, and I was like, dang it. If only my friend, or if only my family didn't think it was stupid. I actually don't see. Okay, who has seen Across the Spider-Verse? Nico, that's the Linda and Heather theme song from Liv and Maddie. That shows my childhood. Pink, pink, pink. Girls, girls, girls. Glitter, glitter, glitter. Twirls, twirls, twirls. Together forever. We're Linda and Heather. Best friends. I love Liv and Maddie. Okay. I did see Across the Spider-Verse in theaters with my brother and 2 of our friends, and the friends we brought. So it was me and my brother, and then our friends Maya and Frankie. And Maya and Frankie are siblings. They brought their little sister Lucy. So the 5 of us went to see Across the Spider-Verse, and like, oh, it was so good. It was so freaking good. If you haven't seen Across the Spider-Verse, go see it if you have the opportunity. If you don't, wait until it's streaming and watch it immediately. It was like, oh my gosh. And the plot twist ending, my brother literally like falls out of his chair into the floor of the theater, just like sits there, and he's like, what just happened? It was so good. I cannot wait to see Beyond the Spider-Verse. And I'm a very big Spider-Man fan. I am a Spider-Man girl. I know a lot of girls love like Captain America and Iron Man and stuff, but I am a Spider-Man girl. And it was, I loved it. You watched Elemental? I didn't. We don't go to the movie theaters very often. Before Across the Spider-Verse, the only times I'd been to the movie theaters was when I was little and Cars 2 came out. Not the third one, the second one, like years ago. And then back in like 2019, we took my siblings to see Toy Story 4 and Frozen 2. Those are the only 3 movies I've ever seen in theaters before me and my friends went to Across the Spider-Verse. It's because movies are so expensive, and there's 8 of us, so it's a lot. But I will be going to see The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes in November. Me and my mom and my brother are going to see that, so I'm really excited. Now that I'm older and I have a job and have my own money, I plan to go see the movies more with friends and stuff. So, since I don't have to rely on my parents. Also, I'm sorry I'm so congested. My allergies are killing me. Ever since I got back to America, my allergies, because the allergens where I live are like really, really rough, and I finally acclimated to them, and then I left the country, and then I came back. But yeah, I've only been to movie theaters 4 times in my whole life, and I'm almost 18, so. I never had a crush on Captain America. He's my second favorite, but I'm a Spider-Man girly. Who's your favorite Spider-Man, though? Live action? I think Andrew Garfield is my favorite. He's also the hottest, but Tom Holland's also great. And then, like, I love Miles. He's great. Everyone's, like, fawning all over Miguel O'Hara, but I'm more of a Miles Morales or Hobie Brown girl, so. Yeah, can we talk about Hobie Brown? Because he was so cool. Like, he was so cool. I loved Hobie. Immediately. I was like, yes, Hobie. He was great. I told a friend, I was like, who needs Miguel O'Hara when Hobie Brown exists? Like, come on, people. It's a good thing my mom's gone and isn't hearing me like, oh, you don't like superhero stuff that much? I like specific superhero stuff. My brother and dad are like big Marvel fans. I watch anything Marvel makes, but I watch some of it. I like Spider-Man. I like Captain America. I like Black Panther. Black Panther was good. Me and my family watched Wakanda Forever as soon as it like was on Disney Plus. But yeah. I have like pollen allergies. Like, I get all congested and I get headaches and nosebleeds and itchy eyes and basically any symptom for pollen allergies. And I'm allergic to one weird medicine. I had it, like, I was being medicated for my acne. It was, like, really, really bad. I wish I could show you guys the pictures, but they're on my mom's phone. But yeah, they gave me this medication, like, rub on my face, and I did, and it made me so red that they thought I had sunburn, and it hurt. So I'm allergic to that medicine. But yeah, you have nut allergies. Oh no, I'm sorry, because I love so many snacks with nuts in it, and I feel really sorry for anyone who has nut allergies. Yeah, pollen allergies, me too. That's why I gotta take allergy meds almost year round, because it's rough. I'm currently reading Better Than the Movies. I haven't read it because I don't really read cheesy romance stuff. I read like action fantasy or thrillers or things like that. So I haven't read Better Than the Movies, but you tell me if you like it, okay? That's just not my thing. My mom makes fun of me because she's like, you read historical fiction, fantasy, and thrillers, and that's it. I'm like, I like what I like, Mom, okay? But yeah, you tell me if you like that one. I'm reading City of Bones. I think I said this earlier. No, when I went on vacation, I brought 4 books and I didn't touch any of them the whole time. The only time I read anything was on the plane. So I was kind of disappointed in myself, but I was having so much fun that I didn't even think about my book. I gotta admit. On chapter 3 and you're obsessed. That's good. I hope you enjoy it. If that's what you're into, okay, you guys just know what I'm into. But yeah, you enjoyed that. I hope you like it. I'm trying to think of like a good book rec that I haven't recommended on my channel a million times. I don't know. Dude, my Fitbit, this is random, but my Fitbit broke. So it's super glued together right now. The bands are super glued to the actual Fitbit, which means if the bands break, I'm screwed, until I can afford a new Fitbit. Because the thing is, I haven't had a job in 2 months, and I haven't started my new job yet. I start on Friday. So I don't really have that much money right now, because, you know, I'm not working, so I can't afford a new Fitbit yet. So I'm just wearing a super glued Fitbit until I can afford one. You're reading a Good Girl's Guide to Murder soon? Oh my gosh, I love that series. This series is so good. You brought the sun and the star to a church. That's funny. I'm sorry, that's funny. Yeah, I had plans on reading, and I even brought crochet stuff. I was gonna crochet, and I didn't touch it. We also went on a couple excursions though. We went on a dune buggy excursion where we jumped into a 25-foot deep cave pool. It was fun. I had to wear a life jacket though because I can't swim. And then we went to 2 different beaches. And there was one on the resort, and during the dune buggy thing, they took us to another one. And then we went on zip lines, and it was 12 different lines, and the highest one was like 2,300 feet in the air. So for a while, they were just getting like progressively higher. We did those excursions. We did a bunch of things. We went to like a silent disco one night. It was only 2 hours long, but it was fun. And at one point, they played "You Belong with Me" by Taylor Swift, and everyone but like my mom and 3 other people were on the Taylor Swift channel, like jumping up and down, singing this song. And I have a video. It's only a couple seconds long of me there, like dancing to "You Belong with Me." I love that song. And they played like "Best Song Ever" by One Direction. My mom also didn't like that one. My mom listens to R&B and rap, and I listen to pop and show tunes. So, but yeah. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. It isn't what it sounds, but like it is. So I don't know how to say this without like spoiling, but the books get progressively better but also progressively darker, and it's just like I read the 3rd book in like 24 hours or something like that, maybe 36, I don't remember, but like really quickly because it was so freaking good. And I just like, you should read them. I just think you should read. I don't know how to talk about it without giving away spoilers because I'm entrenched in that fandom, but they're also creating a show, so you can also watch the show. The Sun and the Star was the best writer for the first book, tied with House of Hades, changed my mind. I haven't actually read The Sun and the Star, and I don't know if I will, so. But House of Hades is good. So if you are leveling it with The Sun and the Star, then it must be good, because it's I love House of Hades. I've read House of Hades like 3 times. You love dark books, then you should read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder.
because that's more solving crime, at least the first one. Yeah, the first one is solving crime, and then the second one is also solving crime but leaning into the darker side, and then the third one, this is a little bit spoilery, but I'm gonna say it anyway, she commits a crime. But there is cursing. It was a bit rough in some of them. There's nothing inappropriate though. It's just, well, I mean, like, there's mentions of some things. Like, I know at one point they were searching, they were doing a case, and they found a picture of a character pretty much naked in another character's room, but it didn't, like, describe it in heavy detail. It was just, like, she had no clothes on in the picture or something like that. But there's nothing, like, inappropriate. The only issue is there is some language. So, and it's, some are worse than others. The first one wasn't quite as bad as the other ones, but the language was rough. I'm gonna be honest. That's my only hang up with the series, was the language. Because other than that, it's a really solid series. And like, I'm a person, I don't curse. And I like to avoid things with language, but sometimes I do make exceptions, but like, I'm not a person who curses. Oh, a whole theater camp of Swifties. That's fun. That's fun. I wish I could do that. I got a book called When Dad Killed Mom once as a joke with my friends and ended up absolutely loving it. I love that. That's great. Oh, I've got a book. It's sort of dark, not super dark, but The Compound. You guys should read this. It's sort of sci-fi. It's a little bit dark. I read this book an entire night because it kept me on the edge of my seat after the first couple chapters. And yeah, so you guys should read this book. It's The Compound by S.A. Bodine. There's your book rack. That's quite the name. That's an interesting name. When Dad Killed Mom. I looked that up. I read this book called I Know You Remember, and I thought I knew what was going on the whole time, and then they had like this massive plot twist at the end that I never saw coming, and I was like, whoa. And then I read this one book that was called, oh gosh, I can imagine the cover in my mind, but I can't. With Malice or something like that. I think it was called With Malice. That book was so freaking good, and the plot twists were like, yes. I loved that book. It's like a thriller, crime, mystery, murder on a vacation. There's a boy. Like, it's great. But yeah. So With Malice, The Compound. I Know You Remember was good, but it was okay. The plot twist was the best part of it, honestly. Neverworld Wake. I just read Neverworld Wake recently because my church bestie made me read it, and I will never be the same after reading that book. I also just finished Nothing More to Tell. Two Can Keep a Secret. It's really good. One of Us is Lying. All of these thriller crime books, and yes. For Six of Crows fans, have you seen the vid where it's just like, oh look, there's Matthias stuck in the window, just like he was stuck in jail. With like the crows, like from the opening of the Shadow and Bone episode. Cause yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that. If that's what you're talking about, I'm not sure. I never actually watched season 2 of Shadow and Bone because it was like, we got rid of Netflix right before it came out, so I didn't get to watch it. You also like The Secret Garden? I love The Secret Garden. My mom has an edition from when she was really little, when she was like way younger than me even, and I've read that edition a couple of times. We've got some of her old books, like she's got old, like Lassie, A Secret Garden, The Borrowers, Bridge to Terabithia, and some of them, The Borrowers and Bridge to Terabithia, I have in my room because we ran out of bookshelf space downstairs, so she asked me to keep them safe in my room. We've got like Island of the Blue Dolphins, like all of her favorite books. How dark is Six of Crows? I want to read it, but I am nervous. It's quite dark. Some of the characters' backstories are pretty rough. If you want some spoilers, plug your ears if you don't. But one of the characters, his backstory of how he ended up the way he is was literally that his brother died of a sickness while they were living on the streets, and the body collectors thought that he died too, so they chucked him in the part of the ocean with the dead bodies, and he had to use his brother's dead body as a floaty to get back to shore in safety. So one of them was like kidnapped and sold into prostitution. it's a bit dark, and like at one point Kaz like rips out a man's eyeball because he can, and stuff like that. So it's dark, but it's good. It's really good. But yeah, Bridge to Terabithia, I love that. I first read the book when I was like 11 or something like that, and I've seen the movie a couple times, and I almost cry every time I watch the movie. Let's see what else. I got Goodreads the other day, and it recommended Green Eggs and Ham to me. There were 5-paragraph 1-star reviews. Who has that much issue with Green Eggs and Ham that they write 5-paragraph 1-star reviews? I'm gonna have to go back and read some of those. Have you read The Prison Healer? Not yet. It's on my TBR. I will get to it eventually. But yeah, I want to. Because he can, it's a good reason. Kaz Brecker doesn't need a reason. The Six of Crows edits I've seen from you made me want to read it. It is really good. It's one of my favorites. I read it last year, and I have been entrenched in the fandom ever since. I have like a letterboard on my wall, and it alternates between Percy Jackson and Six of Crows quotes. Yeah, Castle Dazzle. Castle Dazzle is the best. I will warn you, if you get into the Grishaverse, Six of Crows is the best series, but it's chronologically, it's Shadow and Bone, Six of Crows, Rule of Wolves, and or is it King of Scars? I can't remember which one it's called. I'm just gonna call it King of Scars. I read them Six of Crows, Shadow and Bone, King of Scars. That's how I read it. That's not the chronological order, but you can read, as long as you read Shadow and Bone and Six of Crows before you read King of Scars, you'll be fine. Shadow and Bone, it was her like, I think it was maybe even her like debut with YA fantasy. And it's okay, but it's not like great. And King of Scars was okay, but Six of Crows is by far the best. Oh my gosh, the Sneetches. My dad and I used to read that every single night before I went to bed. Literally every single night I would have him read like the Sneetches or Yodel the Turtle or something. You just read You'll Be the Death of Me. I just checked that on Libby, so I will get back to you if I like it. I will read The Prison Healer. It's just, yeah, Shadow and Bone is first, but it's not as good. So, but Six of Crows is great. You can read Six of Crows before Shadow and Bone. In Crooked Kingdom, Nikolai and Zoya and Jenya are very briefly in the end, and I didn't really know who they were because I hadn't read Shadow and Bone when I did read Six of Crows. Then it was okay. Like, I ended up getting it, and I just read Shadow and Bone later. But yeah, you can read Six of Crows first. You just need to read both of those series before you read King of Scars, because otherwise King of Scars will not make any sense. And for those of you who read King of Scars, I can't believe Nina moved on. I will never love Han the way I loved Matthias. It just won't. I wanted to cry when she first mentioned Han. I was like, no, Matthias, he just. Anyway, yeah, I won't say anything else about Matthias because I don't want to like get spoilers. But yeah. There were some weird elements in You'll Be the Death of Me. Oh, so am I in for a wild ride? I'm reading, oh gosh, I can't remember what it's called, but my current audiobook is like The Shadows something something. It's by Trisha Levenseller, the author of Daughter of the Pirate King, which I love that series too. Daughter of the Pirate King and Daughter of the Siren Queen. It's a really good series. You should read that. Yeah, she moved on really fast, and I was like, she was flirting with Han like 2 days after burying him. So you read House of Hades before you ever read any other Percy Jackson books. How did that make sense in your mind? Like, how, I want to know, when you first read House of Hades, were you like, oh yeah, this makes sense, or were you like really confused the whole time? Harry Potter got me into reading when I was in first grade, and Keeper of the Lost Cities got me back into reading last year. Oh, I love that. I have not actually finished the Harry Potter series because my mom decided she wanted to read it out loud to all of us, and that we're just all so busy that we've been on book 5 for like 7 months or something like that. So, but yeah. The first books I remember, so I mentioned this earlier, I learned to read when I was 4. Like, I asked my mom, can you teach me how to read? She's like, sure. So she taught me how to read when I was 4, and I've kind of never stopped since. The first book I remember reading when I was little was called Life with Lily, and it was this like Christian novel about a little girl a little Amish girl named Lily. There's 4 of them. I read them all. I read them with my mom. Sorry, my allergies are getting me. And then the next book I remember really loving was the Pegasus series by Kate O'Hearn. And I read that in like elementary school, I think. And then in late elementary school, I read Percy Jackson and the Olympians, book 1, Lightning Thief. And that, I think you guys know my feelings about Percy Jackson. I actually didn't read Keeper of Lost Cities until 2020 lockdown. So I lived in a really small town and the librarians like recognized me. So I would put it on hold on my laptop, and then I would go over to the library whenever it said the hold was ready, and I would just stand outside the door. They would see my car pull up, and they would get my books ready and like bring them out to me because, you know, we couldn't go in the libraries. And I didn't even have to show my card or anything. They just like in their system were like, oh yeah, it's Gabriella's card, as soon as they saw my card pull in. And like before I even opened the door sometimes, they would be there with my books. I was like, yeah, this is great. So that's how I read Keeper of the Lost Cities, and I actually read School for Good and Evil at the same time. I would like check them out. You love spicy books, dark books, sad books, fantasy books, nonfiction books. I don't read nonfiction, and I hate spicy books. I have strong feelings about spicy books, but if you want to read it, and like don't read book 1 and then be like, nah, never mind. Also, when I first read Keeper of the Lost Cities, I read the first book, and like for half the book I was like, it's not great. And then I got to the ending, I was like, you know what, I'll read the next one. And then I read the whole series, and I currently own the whole series. It's up there, it's behind me. So yeah, I think you should read it. It's pretty good. Let's see what else in the comments. I read PJO because my brother had it. Yeah, I found PJO because I was just at the library one day in like late elementary school. I don't know, probably like 5th grade, something like that. 4th or 5th. I think probably 5th grade. And I was like, this looks kind of cool, and I checked it out. And then I just loved it. Yeah, the second half saved the first book so hard. It did. The first book was kind of rough, the first half. But it got better, and I'm glad I stuck with it. Do I like chicken? I do like chicken. That was a random question. I went to a college production of the musical before I read the books, and the next day I asked my mom if I could borrow the first book. Oh, you've got to see the musical? I was supposed to see a college production of the musical late last year. Me and my brother and sister were gonna go. It was a bunch of elementary schoolers, and then me and my brother and sister. And then like the day before, someone got COVID, and the whole cast was exposed, and it was canceled, and I never got to see it. I never liked fantasy till PJO. That's understandable. The first fantasy book I remember loving was Pegasus by Kate O'Hearn. I read that series like twice, I think. I don't remember much of it because I was so young when I read it, but I remember it was really good. I'll probably have to reread it soon. I also read this book. It was called Frogged by Vivian Van de Velde, and it was so good to me when I was younger. And I'm doing this fairy tale reading challenge with my mom where we read a fairy tale retelling every month. And next month's prompt is The Frog Prince. So I was going to reread Frog and see if I still like it. Because I read that book like, no joke, probably like 30 times in elementary school. So, yeah. Oh, the actors are so talented. I'm so jealous. I'm really jealous. I want to go see Percy Jackson musical. Because it's just, I know every word to every song in Percy Jackson the musical. I belt my little heart out to My Grand Plan and Bring on the Monsters and Son of Poseidon and Good Kid and like Luke's Good Kid reprise in Last Day of Summer. Like, I love the musical so much. It is one of the best musicals ever. It's just, you guys are talking about different book series, and I'm over here with my one book fandom. It's okay. You have time to get into more book fandoms. You have time. How old are you, if you don't mind telling me? Or can you at least give me like a range? Like, are you in middle school or high school, so I can give you some recommendations that I read? Because if you're in like middle school or something, I don't want to necessarily give you recommendations that I read now, because every parent's different. And I know my parents, when I was in middle school, would never let me read the books I read now. But if you're in like middle school and you don't mind saying that in the chat, then I can like give you some recommendations that I read at that age, because I read some good books. I read some pretty good books when I was in middle school. Yeah, The School for Good and Evil is so good. I read that in 2020. It was great. yeah, I loved it. You're in middle school. Who was that? Percy Jackson Forever. Oh yeah. Okay, we got a couple middle schoolers. Okay, so when I was in middle school, I read, actually, let me see if I got the first one of this series. I'm just gonna grab some books I read when I was in middle school. So I own some of them. I didn't get to buy them when I was in middle school because I didn't have money. But I did later buy them when I was older. Let's see. I'm grabbing a couple that I read. That's one thing about me that my mom always laughs at, because I did not have money of my own when I was in middle school, so I didn't get to buy these books that I loved so much. And so I grew up and I got a job, and then I started buying these books. Mom was like, oh, you're buying so many, like, you know, your kid books, are you going to still read those? I was like, I don't know if I'll read them now, but they were my favorites when I was little, so I want to have them. So I've got some books that I loved in elementary school that I bought after I got my first job because I finally had the money. Okay, let me make sure I didn't miss anything in the chat, and then I'll show you the books that I pulled out. Okay, interested in mainly YA now. Yeah, me too. Okay, yeah, looks like a lot of middle schoolers. Okay, so these are some of my favorite books when I was in middle school. And so, hold on, wait, is this the first one? No, that's book 2. 1 second. The first book I grabbed book 2 instead of book 1. One moment. Okay, got the right one. Okay, The Serpent's Secret by Sayatani Dasgupta, I think is how you pronounce it. This book is like, it's, I don't know what, like, culture the folklore is from, but it's like folklore meets modern times. It's fantasy. It was really good. I read this book like twice. It was a bit rough. I loved this book to death. It's a trilogy, and I probably will reread it soon because I remember it being like really good. It takes like folklore with like modern day fantasy and like mixes like the culture it's from. It's really good. This one, Story Thieves, literally one of my favorites from middle school, and it's a 5-book series. And one thing I find so interesting about the series is it's like almost different genres. Like there's one that's a superhero book where they're trapped in a comic book, and then like one where it's a pick your own story and different things like that. So it's Bethany, she can jump into books, and she meets a character, oh gosh, I don't remember his name, Keel. I think his name was like Keel, and he's from the fictional world, and then the other guy, Owen, isn't from the fictional, he's from our world, and he's dragged into the book by Bethany, and they have all these adventures over 5 books, and I love this series. I'll probably read it at some point because it's so good. Oh shoot, I knocked out my phone. Hold on. Ta-da. 1 second. One second, I'm trying to do something. There. Okay, now, next book, The Sister's Grit. I first discovered this book in probably like 7th grade or something like that, and it's a long series. It's like 10 books or something like that, I think. It's basically Sabrina and Daphne Grimm find out that the Grimm brothers, who were like their ancestors, they did not create fairy tales. They told true stories because all the fairy tales are real, and they're just stuck in this one little town that Sabrina and Daphne get put in. And I remember loving this book so much, and I own most of them. I think there's 3 of them that I don't have. I have 1. You know what? I have 1, and then I'm missing 2, 3, 4, and maybe 5, and then I've got the rest. But yeah, this one's really good. It's like fairy tale retellings mixed with like a little bit of like, there's a little bit of dark in it. Then this one, Walls Within Walls. This was like a middle grade like mystery thing, and I probably read this book like 3 times. I ended up buying it fairly recently because I saw it on a shelf at a used bookstore, and I'm like, oh my gosh, the childhood memories, like I need that. So yeah, basically I think it's 3 siblings. They get this new apartment and they find out there's all these puzzles behind the walls, and so they've got to figure them out. And then the Three Doors trilogy by Emily Rada. I literally love this series. I just recently reread this series, and my parents actually bought me this trilogy for Christmas because they remembered me loving it so much, and it was on my list of books I wanted to buy one day. And oh gosh, I read this series a couple times. It's, oh shoot, my dust jacket is on. I opened the book to flip through it, and my dust jacket was on upside down. But basically 3 brothers have the chance to go on adventure through 3 different doors that they have to stagger. So the oldest brother goes first, he's never seen again. Second brother goes next, he's never seen again. And the third brother goes, and instead of going through the door he wants, he goes through each of the other doors to save his brothers after he saves them. And he then goes through the door he wants. They have like all these adventures. There's like all these magical creatures and these people they meet, and it's so good. It's such a great series. And then the Wing Feathers Saga by Andrew Peterson, and this book is good. And I had my dad read it shortly after I did, and he was listening to the audiobook, and he calls me one day from Food Line, and he's like, "This is all your fault. I'm mad at you." I was like, "What?" He said, "You told me to read this book, and now here I am, a grown man, standing in Food Line crying." And I was like, I can't help it. Because the ending of the 4th book was sad. That my dad, who was like he was in his early 40s at the time, he was like crying in the store because it was so sad. And I'm still, years later, I'm still mad about the way that book ended. I read the last book back in like 2019, and I still remember the ending, and I was like, what the heck? Like, what the heck was that ending? So yeah, those are your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 book recs. I'm gonna hold them up for the camera so you guys can see them if you want to like take a screenshot so you can put them on your TBR. But these are the books. Those are 6 book recommendations I have from when I was in middle school. Okay, let's see. I'm about to start Lunar Chronicles and Legendborn. Are they good? Oh yes, I love them. Me and my mom read Lunar Chronicles last year together. We had a lot of fun with that. We read Cinder for our fairy tale challenge. We were also doing that last year. And we were like, oh, this is good. And we read it together. We got to Winter, and Winter is like really long. It's like 800 pages long. And she was listening to the audiobook, and I was reading the in-hand book, and we raced to see who could finish the book first. And I won because she went to go shower, and I was reading while she showered, and I ended up finishing it. It was really good. And then Legendborn, that's really good. It's like King Arthur retelling. Okay, let's see. Do you have some YA books that are on the younger side of YA? Yeah, I do. Let me put these books away, and I'll pull out some more book recommendations. This is what I love doing. I love book recommendations. This is the whole reason I wanted to start a booktube, so that I could give book recommendations to people, because it's what I love. Oh, and I just found one more middle school recommendation. This isn't the first one. This is the second one. The first one's called Nevermore, but this book, The Trials of Morgan Crow, this trilogy, and I think I heard that there's going to be a 4th book at some point. It was really good. Oh, I did read the Michael Vey books several years ago. They were great. Okay, so books on the younger side of YA, and then underrated YA recs. I'm gonna pull those out. You guys feel free to use the chat. I'm just pulling books. Just getting my books ready. There's 2 questions. Let's see. One series I know I have, but I can't find it. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's see. I've got 4 books that I pulled
for each question. So I'll start with books on the younger side of YA first, and then let me show you guys these books, and then I'll go through comments and see other questions. Okay, so books for the younger side of YA, I got 4. School for Good and Evil. I read this book back in 2020. It's a 6-book series, but there are also 2 prequels. I haven't read the second prequel, but I've read all the rest, and they were really good. It's like people from, it's like, I'm trying to think of like a really brief description. Basically, normal people like us, they are taken to the school where all fairy tales happen, and the fairy tales are the real stories of people who go to the school. Then we've got Heartless by Marissa Meyer. It's a Queen of Hearts retelling. It's a prequel to everything that happens in Alice in Wonderland. It's really good. I got my mom to read it recently. She didn't like it as much as I did when I read it. But I think that's because she's read more Queen of Hearts retellings than I have. And she's got one that's her favorite that she just finished. She's like, it's so good. And I think that's why she didn't like Heartless as much. And then this one, I don't know if this is actually classified as middle school, like middle grade or YA, but it's kind of dark. So I didn't read it until I was like 16 or something like that. It's a trilogy, and it is a like grim fairy tale retelling. But for those of you who have read like any original fairy tales, you know they're dark. So this leads into the dark side of the fairy tales while connecting all of them together in some way. And then Beast and Beauty, which is by the same author as A School for Good and Evil, and I just actually recently read this one. And it's also fairy tale retellings. Again, at some parts it leans into the, darker side of fairy tales, which I prefer, but it's not like overwhelmingly dark, Okay, so I'm gonna hold them up again in case you guys want to take a screenshot. These are 4 book recommendations on the younger side of YA. Holding them up. Okay. Hopefully you got your screenshot if you wanted it. And then I've got 4 underrated YA books. So 6 Crimson Cranes. This was really good. Me and my mom read this. Me and my mom read a lot together, if you can't tell. It is what is it a retelling of? I can't remember what the name of the story is, but you know that fairy tale where like the girl's brothers are turned into cranes? And I'm sorry, I've got like dust on my shirt, like fuzz or something. It's a retelling of that one, and it's really good. I really love it. I haven't read the sequel yet, but I need to find it. And then these are 2 of the Disney Twisted Tales. My 2 favorite Disney Twisted Tales, actually. As Old as Time and A Whole New World. I couldn't remember what it was called. I almost called it Once Was Mine. That's a different one. That's the Rapunzel one. These are my favorites. They will forever be my favorites of this series. I've read all of this series except for the new one, the Tiana one. These are really good. They're definitely underrated. And then Renegades. And I know you see Renegades a lot, but I still say it's underrated because literally words cannot describe this masterpiece. And I would show you guys the whole series because the covers are beautiful, gorgeous cover art. But my church bestie has actually been reading this series. She's been borrowing it from me. So she actually has Supernova right now, so I don't have a whole series on me. So I'm going to hold them up in case you guys want a screenshot. But these are 4 underrated YA recommendations. Scroll through the comments. Yeah, Song of Achilles is spicy, and that's why I won't read it. Yeah, Heartless is kind of sad. Flora and Ulysses. Girl, I have that book. Hold on, let me find it. It's here somewhere in my room. Because actually, I don't know if it's in my room or if it's downstairs on the family bookshelf. It might not be in my room. It might be downstairs. But, oh no, it is in my room. Sorry, I'm going to get it off my book cart. Flora and Ulysses. Here's my childhood right here. I love Flora and Ulysses. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to scroll through comments and the way my phone is propped. It's kind of hard. But yes, my childhood. I love this book. Okay. See, my hands are so shaky. You got Nevermore on your shelf? That's great. Okay. Yes, Renegades is so good. I'm going to have to reread it at some point. Okay, I've got to put all my books away because they're stacked, but oh my gosh. I haven't thought about Flora and Ulysses in a really long time. Yes, I have a bad memory of this fairy tale retelling because my very toxic ex-friend read the Rapunzel one. It reminds me of the toxic fights. Sorry for that. Oh shoot, I knocked down my My coffee. So yes, if anyone else needs book recommendations, you just let me know, because I love giving book recommendations. It makes me so happy when people come to me for recs, because like I've been reading for a really long time. I've read so many books. I read like I generally read 100 or more books per year, so I get to read a lot, and I love sharing these books with people, but I don't have a lot of bookish friends. Like, I've got friends who read, but they don't read the same volume as I do, so it makes me so happy, and I get to recommend books to other people, because I don't get to recommend books to my own friends that often. Okay, all the books are put away. I'm trying to prop my phone back up like it was. Let me see. No, it doesn't have enough charge yet to unplug it. That's why it's being weird about setting up, because it doesn't have charge. Okay. So far this year, you're at 109. Oh, that's impressive. That is impressive. I'm at 93. So, like, you're way ahead of me. I've read 2 books since April. It's okay. There's still time. There's still time to read. I gave my 2nd grade teacher Flora Ulysses, said she read it for the class. I was so happy. That's so cute. Have you read 4 Dead Queens? I have not. What is it about? I'll look it up when I'm done with the live. But I'm over 25 for the year. That's good. Everyone has different reading speeds, so it's okay if you don't read like 100 books a year, because you just read like different. Everybody else has like varying speeds. I've got friends who read really slow and the friends who read really fast. I used to be friends with a girl who read like 3 times as much as I did, and I found that bizarre. I was like, when do you sleep? When do you eat? Like, when do you get your school done? Like, tell me, because I need this hack. Oh, you got plenty of time to meet your goal of 30. I have a goal of 150. I tried to get 200 for a couple years in a row, and I never could get it. And there was a friend I had at the time, and he was racing, like, we were going at the same time trying to hit 200, and he hit it. I've never hit it. The most I've read ever in a year was like 182. I've never, ever hit that again. So I'm trying to do 150. Me and my mom are racing. We're very competitive, if you can't tell. Oh yay, 150 buddies. But yeah, so me and my mom are racing to see who can read 150 books first this year. I am at 93 and she's at 82, because she went on a business trip back in June, and I got like 10 books ahead during that time, and I managed to stay ahead ever since, which I'm very proud of. So me, who's so busy with writing my own book that this is really slow reading. The thing is, I love writing my story, but I don't have like, a lot of times I don't have the motivation or the right ideas. So my goal is probably like 30. My goal is 40. That's good. Those are all good goals. Reading anything, even if you got a goal of like 5 and you hit it, like that's great. Reading anything just puts you above like so many other people. There's so many people in the world that like don't read. Like they can, but they don't make the time to do it. So even reading just a couple books a year is really good, because that means you're putting the time to read and you're getting smarter. With every book, you increase your vocabulary, you increase your attention span. I wrote one time I did like an online class with a teacher, and she assigned us to write research papers over the benefits of something we enjoyed. And I did a whole like 7-page research paper about the benefits of reading. And I don't remember quite all of my points, but it was a lot. And yeah, like it helps you sleep better. It helps you like you increase your vocabulary with like every book you read. People who read more have less chances of getting like dementia or stuff like that later in life. That's why my mom has joked there's no way I'll ever get dementia or anything like that. Increase your memory, your attention span. Oh yeah, reading's good. It's got so many benefits.
And even listening to audiobooks. Listening to audiobooks is really great too. I listened to probably half the books I've read this year are audiobooks. Those 100% count as reading. And my brother counts like manga and graphic novels. So he does. Have any of y'all read City of Ember? I read it in 5th grade and I got obsessed. I have not, but I've heard about it. So I might look into that. But no, I never read it. I have found that I never read a lot of books that were like classic for people to read. Like I read one Magic Treehouse book in my whole life, and I didn't read like Land of Stories or anything like that. I read Percy Jackson and A Series of Unfortunate Events. And A Series of Unfortunate Events is like a book series is so long. Like it's literally 13 books of like very repetitive. The Graceling series. I don't know what are like the titles of some of the books. I seriously don't remember that. I'm sorry. Yeah. But yeah, I've found that a lot of the like classic childhood books I didn't read. I don't know. I also never read like Jenny B. Jones or anything like that. I read Ramona in Pieces. I read those. I'm trying to think. What else did I read? I read Nancy Drew a lot when I was younger. I still have the first 5 because when I was in middle school, my mom got me a box set. That was the first 5 books, and I still have that box set. So, yeah. What is the Graceling series? I don't know if I've read it or not. I don't always recognize the series name, but I recognize the book name. Shadows Are, Graceling, Fire, Bitter Blue, Winter Keep, Sea Sparrow. I don't think so, but I think maybe my mom bought them at some point for me, and we just never read them, and we got rid of them. I feel like I'd have to look through my Goodreads and Hoopla history and see if I did. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. Just trying to look around on my bookshelves in my carts for any like good books. Have you guys read the False Prince series? The next book on my TBR after AGGTM, Legendborn and the Lunar Chronicles is The Inexplicable Logic of My Life. I found it on Libby, and it said it's appropriate for my age, so it's on my TBR. I have never heard of that book. I'll have to look into that. That seems interesting. So I would definitely look into that one. I've heard of it, but I haven't read it. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of it. So this is my first time hearing of it. This is why I love the booktube community, because I hear about all kinds of interesting books. And my TBR is like 300 books long, so. Or maybe it's like 100. My mom's the one that's like 300 or 400. I don't remember. I got long TBRs. Yeah. I'm currently reading the Queen's Thief series. I just checked out the last book on Hoopla, and I can't wait to start it. I started a series because Butterfly Books actually was like talking so much about it and making so many edits that I was like, oh, I went in on this. This looks good. And it is. So if you haven't read The Queen's Thief, go read it. I read the first 2 books of the False Prince series. I can't get a hold of the 3rd. That's sad. I have all of them but the 5th one. Like, I own them. I got back in December, my church had a Christmas Olympics, and the winning team got $10 Amazon gift cards. Like, everyone got gift cards on the team. And my team won, so I got the gift card, and I went on Amazon, and I bought the 4th False Prince book because I needed it for my collection. So, yes. My parents, so when I was really young, my parents did 12 books for 12 days of Christmas, so they would buy us 12 books, and they would wrap them up and put them under the tree, and every day for the 12 days leading up to Christmas, we got to unwrap a book. And so we unwrapped the last one on Christmas Eve. And we did that when I was really little, but then when more of us, it was just got like really expensive to buy so many books. But this year, or last year, my parents did it for Christmas again. Like I knew that they were doing it for the younger kids. Like I literally wrapped the books for the younger kids. And I was like, dang, I remember doing this. It was so much fun. They're gonna love it. And then the first day of 12 Days of Christmas, we woke up and I was like, hey, Judah, I wonder if there's something under Mommy's tree in her office. And I went to go take the little kids to go see their wrapped books. And then there was books for all 6 of us. And Mom and Dad had roped us olders into wrapping the younger kids' books and helping us pick out books for the younger kids while secretly buying books for us too, so that all 6 of us got to do 12 books for 12 Days of Christmas together, so that was really good. I got to relive a favorite childhood memory. But my parents bought me, they went through a list that I have on my laptop of books I want to buy one day, some of which I've read, some I haven't, and they bought me 12 books off that list. So it was great. I have like the author of The False Prince, one of her other trilogies, Mark of the Thief, that I've literally read twice. It's so good. She bought me that whole trilogy as part of my 12 books, so it was great. I don't think they'll do it this year again, but it was a really nice surprise last year to like wake up and like, oh, there's a stack of books from me. Opinion on Folk of the Air. I really like it. I haven't read The Cruel Prince because he has a tail. That is valid. That is valid. The tail gives me the ick, but I just try to block out the tail. Folk on the Air is really good. Wicked King is probably the best one. There is, if you don't like spice, there is a moment that's not like spicy, but it's almost spicy in the third book, and I skipped past that. That's really the only thing. There's not too much language. There's not like a bunch of spice or anything. It's a solid series. I own the first one because I found it at a used bookstore, but I don't have the rest. But it's pretty good. I checked out the rest in the library, so. Yeah, the Carden and his tail, it just throws me off. Same with Oak and his goat legs. I read The Stolen Heir pretty recently, and I was like, ugh, he has goat legs. Okay. And what really gets me about Carden is like he'll be kissing Jude, and it says something like his tail wrapped around my thigh, and I'm like, ew. That gives me immediate ick. Like immediate, and I'm like, ugh. Yeah, go look up Carden. He's got a tail. It doesn't show it in all fan art because for the first part of, at least the first book and maybe into the second book, he keeps it hidden in his pants, so it's not like there. But in the later books, he's definitely he's full out with the tail. It's even a dirty little rat's tail too. It's gross. I don't like the tail. See, I've been on live way longer than I thought I would be. It's 4:30. What time do I have to leave for church? I have to leave at 6:30, so I got 2 hours. We gotta figure out what we're doing for dinner, and I gotta get my bag together. So, yeah, that guy has a tail. I promise you, he has a tail. Do you have Pinterest? If you have Pinterest, I can send you some pictures. If you have Pinterest or Instagram, I can send you some pictures of him where it shows his tail, because he 100% has a tail, and he's really hot. So it's a shame that he has a tail, because like, why does someone that hot have a tail? I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense in my brain. But yeah. It 100% has a tail. And that is like my only ick about the series. Like, the characters are good development and everything. It's just, he has that freaking tail. My coffee is almost gone. I'm so sad. It's a white chocolate mocha, but they didn't put whipped cream on the top like I asked.